The night in the desert was colder than Maria remembered, the kind of cold that didn't just touch your skin but found its way into your bones. She sat on the hard-packed dirt outside the small adobe house, her knees drawn up, her fingers clutching the fabric of her torn skirt. Her long, black hair, the pride of her childhood, the one thing she'd loved about herself, lay scattered in uneven tufts on the ground around her, hacked away by the same women who had once called her sister. Her face was smeared with soot, a cruel tradition her in-laws said was to teach her respect. Inside, she could still hear their laughter, sharp, mean, full of the joy people get when they've crushed someone weaker. Maria didn't cry anymore, the tears had dried on her cheeks hours ago. All that was left was the hollow ache in her chest and the thought that maybe disappearing into the dark desert would be easier than facing another sunrise like this one. It was then she felt it. A tremor in the ground, faint at first, then steady, rhythmic. Hoofbeats. The sound grew louder, closer, until a massive shadow appeared at the edge of the ridge, framed by the moonlight. A man on a black stallion, his broad shoulders draped in a worn leather coat, his long dark braids swaying behind him. Even from a distance, Maria could tell he wasn't a man to be trifled with. He dismounted with a heavy thud, his boots sinking into the dirt, and for a moment, the cold wind seemed to still. His eyes locked onto her, scanning her chopped hair, her blackened face, the way she sat folded in on herself like something discarded. Without a word, he walked toward her, each step deliberate, until he stood only a few feet away. His voice, when it came, was deep and certain, carrying the weight of someone used to being obeyed. "You're coming with me." It wasn't a question. It wasn't even an order. It was a fact. Maria shook her head, instinctively pulling back. She didn't know him. She didn't trust anyone anymore. But there was something in his gaze, steady, unwavering, almost safe. She glanced at the house behind her, where shadows danced in the lamplight and cruel laughter spilled into the night, and in that moment, the choice made itself. She reached for his hand. His palm was calloused and warm, grounding her in a way she hadn't felt in years. He pulled her gently but firmly to her feet and led her to the stallion. She hesitated only once, glancing over her shoulder at the place where her world had broken, and then she climbed up behind him. The stallion snorted, stamping once before charging forward into the open desert. The cold air bit at her skin, but with each gallop, the house and its cruelty faded into nothing but memory. They rode for hours under a blanket of stars, the silence between them steady and unthreatening. Maria didn't know where they were going, and for the first time, she didn't care. All she knew was that the farther they rode, the more she could breathe. Somewhere on the horizon, the first light of dawn began to spill over the mountains, painting the sky gold. Maria felt the warmth on her face and realized that maybe, just maybe, she was heading toward a life where no one could cut her down again. And for the first time in a long time, she let herself believe in tomorrow.